I think first and foremost, one, thank you for being here. I know it's hard to, as we talked about earlier, as busy as you guys are, to find a time where we can get together to have this little discussion. Thank you for making time for that. And really, you often hear in moments like these that it was an honor to be nominated. And sometimes I think that's just something people say. In this case, there's true merit and truth to that. I don't know if you understand how this process works, but students nominated you for this award, and then that list with a bunch of other names went to faculty Faculty took that list and they voted on it, and then the top 3 vote getters are sitting at this table. And so what that says to me is I'm sitting by 6 students that are engaged in the LCU community, they're involved with their peers, and they succeed in the academic classroom. And so it's neat to see, it was fun to call you into the office, even though I scared you by getting an email from the Dean of Students is intimidating, I get that. But it was neat to see your reaction when you were told you're a nominee for Mr. LCU or you're a nominee for Miss LCU. And so you're all very deserving, and I'm very, very proud of you guys, so kudos. So saying that, we're gonna kind of discuss just got a few questions and let you guys kind of share your answers about during your time in LCU and the relationships you've made, things like that. Okay, you ready? You relaxed?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
I feel really anxious right now.
You are being watched, that's for sure.
To make a good answer.
Okay, here's the first question.
All right, hold for a second.
Gotcha. Okay. First question is this. What has been your favorite memory from your time at LCU?
I have so many. It's so hard to choose. I'm going to be cliche. I'm just going to do this year because I've had 4 years of really great memories. But this year, because I've been in Zeta for so long, and every year at Master Follies, we were the bridesmaid, and we kept getting second, and we had this great show, and then we kept getting second. And this year when we broke through the ceiling, and just the sheer excitement around me on that stage with the girls that we had worked so hard with, that was just really amazing. And I've never been around that many girls that were so excited, and it was this weird combination of like excitement and relief. And it was like, oh, finally, gosh. But just the way that we worked towards that, and how godly it was, and how much we prayed before every practice, it just really felt like a reward that I thought all those girls deserved. And so it was really neat to finally be a part of something like that. And that's been a really great memory that I won't ever forget.
Awesome.
I have 2. I think my first one, this is kind of a confession, but last year during the last week of classes, the execs, Lauren Sell, Ryan Teal, Susie West, and I found a bunch of tarps in the office, and so we set up a fort and turned off the lights and put up Christmas lights and skipped the rest of classes that week. And we were just hanging out and bonding and living up the remainder of their time at LCU. And so just the friendship that we had there. My second one is the writing carnival. I spent most of this year's writing carnival hanging out with people like Dr. Blassingame and Dr. Carey, and I think even Josh a little the night they were doing the 24-hour reading, and getting to see teachers outside of the classroom was a great experience, and getting to know them better and seeing them invest themselves in the lives of the students around them was a huge blessing.
Getting a chance to interact with faculty members necessarily outside of the classroom. Being in the honors program, I've gotten to go on several trips with like Dr. Patty and Dr. Fair, or really just being in Dr. Fair's class. You go on field trips with Dr. Fair, so you go on trips anyway. But getting that chance to, yes, they're there as a professor, and yes, you're there as a student, but maybe you're going to present research, or maybe you're just going hiking or whatever, and you get that chance to form a friendship, and that respect has always been there, but you truly leave as friends. And I think that's probably one of my favorite memories, like getting to go to DC with Dr. Patty and Dr. Fair and traipsing around at 2 o'clock in the morning and, getting lost because the subway was closed already and we're not in a good part of town. So that was interesting anyway.
I'm glad that's on video.
Yeah. We were together. It was good.
Good.
I kind of have two. The first is meeting my fiance, of course, and the whole dating process thing. I thought I'd say it first because I knew Devin was probably going to say the same thing about her fiance. And I think the second is was kind of my first year of Master Follies as a new member came in. There was a lot of strife and a lot of arguments because the directors all didn't get along. There was a lot of strife. But the second year, when I came in as director and some of the other guys, it was weird because they were all unified. And it was cool to see a bunch of guys unified for the same purpose and in that learning to love each other. And being able to be there to guide that and to prompt that was an amazing experience, and it made me want to do it again. That was the most impactful thing, was that first practice at the end, them being able to sing a song after one practice because they worked together, because they loved each other, and they were pushing towards a goal together.
Awesome.
Well, I have a few memories that I will remember for the rest of my life, but one of them is probably going to nationals as a team with cross country. I was honored to go to nationals 4 times out of the 4 years that I was here, and the last year we got to go as a team, and that was something that really is really special to me because at the beginning of the year we came in unranked and we weren't even on the map, and then halfway through we were ranked 18th, 15th, something like that, and at nationals we got 9th place, and overall we grew together as a team and as a family, and that's something I'll remember for the rest of my life. And just, getting up at 6 in the morning paid off. So.
It's really hard to choose. Have a lot of memories, and I think I first should say that coming here, leaving tech, and making the decision to transfer was the best decision I've ever made in my life, and that's probably because it was God, not me. But if I had to say probably the best memory, one of the best memories would be leading worship with best friends and having the opportunity to lead my fellow students in worship so many times throughout the time that I've been here, and leading others in worship on tours and things like that. I mean, even more than the performance songs that we do, the worship time, I mean, getting to have a rehearsal time 1 hour a week, every week, or every day for a week, you know, that's really just focused on worship. You get really close to those 10 people, and then your worship life grows, and my heart for worship has like grown beyond words, and it's because of the opportunities that Best Friends has provided, as well as chapel and all those other things where we worship all the time, and I love that. And it's challenged me a lot of times when I haven't felt great, but it's also been just, I mean, beyond words, the best thing and the best feeling is being up there and watching, more than anything, watching my fellow students worship God is just like, it's indescribable. I love it.
That's neat. That's cool. Here's the next question. Okay.
Answer your questions in Spanish.
That would be really funny.
That would be awesome.
Can we do subtitles?
I won't guarantee what you're saying.
That would be hilarious.
You should do it. You should do it at least
A
once.
false reading?
I
You
can't
should do a...
It was some fluffy duck something.
It'd be really
Okay, so
funny.
the purple duck isn't wearing corduroy pants.
Okay, here's the next question. Who has been a mentor to you during your time here, and tell us why they've been a mentor?
Josh Stevens.
Josh Stevens.
Josh Stevens.
Let's keep that on the video. But in all seriousness, give me someone on campus, whether a faculty member or a staff member, who has really impacted you on a personal level during your 4, 3, 5 years here.
I've probably had 2. One has been Dr. Fair. I'm a humanities major, so I had to take a lot of history classes. Ended up with a history minor. But Dr. Fair really just took me into his family and invites me over to dinner, and I babysit his kids and take them out on, you know, fun. Hey, we're going to the mall, Gracie, just picking you up from school, that sort of thing with his family. And that's something I really needed, even though I live here in Lubbock and my family is here. LCU is very different than that, you know, and you make a completely new family, And Dr. Fair and his whole family has been a huge part of that. And the other one was an adjunct that we had here named Rusty Ladd, who was a Lubbock County judge, and he was the one who convinced me to go to law school. And so he was a huge mentor, and losing him in the motorcycle accident a couple of years ago made a huge impact on my life, obviously, but it also reminded me that, you know, he left a legacy and made me kind of step up into something that I had been really scared to do. And losing Rusty all of a sudden made me realize, hey, I got to step up like he did. And so
It's really, really neat. I bet he's proud of you.
I hope so.
Yes. Someone else?
I'd have to say Dr. Ethan Brown. When I went to Kenya the first time, my mom called me in the middle of the trip and told me my parents were getting a divorce. That was one of the hardest things that ever happened. And I came back, lived a semester in an apartment with one of my best friends, and I needed family. And Ethan Brown and his family welcomed me in. And I lived there for a year and a half, and now he's doing my wedding. He's kept a good professorial distance while still being one of my best friends. And I only mention Dr. Brown because he's the one I lived with. There are so many. It's hard to pick. This was the hardest question to think about.
Yeah.
Once again, I have two. I guess in terms of academics, Mr. Schuin, JD, he was a retired Army officer. He was a lawyer when he was in the Army, and then he became a prosecutor in Nevada. And as a criminal justice major, he's my main professor. He's my advisor as well. But he brings quite a bit of knowledge and understanding, and he's able to communicate that. And being able to learn from someone who cares about you and understands the intricacies of the criminal justice system has had a huge impact on me and the decisions I've made academically. And I guess just in terms of life decisions, I would say Randall Dement. I've gotten to meet with him quite a bit, and he has a way of connecting with students and seeing what's at the heart of issues, and he's a very astute man, and he has pushed me beyond where I had ever intended to go. He's been a great mentor for me, at least these last couple of years.
Well, I have two as well. First, spiritually, Jeff Carey has really, really impacted me. I took a number of classes from him. Every time I took a Bible class, I tried to take it from him. Just because he not only was a great spiritual leader in his class, I had him my freshman year, and he opened the class with a prayer, and I just left class, and I just called my mom, and I just cried, and I said, they prayed in class. And I just knew that I was in the right place, and that's just the way he starts off everything. And he's just very, very centered in his faith, and it was amazing to see, and the things that he said stretched me in my own faith, and also as a parent. I loved watching him, like, with his kids, and the things that he said, like, that he took time to be in their lives, and he took time to not shelter them in a bad way, but in a great way, to help keep his kids pure in a world that's crazy. And then Terry Warren. I'll probably get emotional talking about Terry. I will. I'm about to. I love Terry so much. And she's a perfect example of a Christ-like woman because she gives and she gives and she gives. And she has, she's given so much to Zeta, and she's given so much to me as an individual. And she gives so much wisdom and patience and love. She's wonderful. You know Terry. Everyone knows Terry, and she's always exceeding expectations, and that's the kind of woman that I want to be. So, sorry.
Well, for me, there are a few people who have been mentors in my life, and because I do cross country, there's a few coaches that will always just be part of my life. And Clyde Neff and Coach Kite, Derek Kite, they have been mentors in my life, and I know that even though sometimes I was upset at them because they made me run mile repeats or something like that. They were always there to encourage me and lift me up, and I grew a lot through cross country, spiritually as well as physically. And then another mentor which I came to know and love is Roy Worley in the dorms. And I've been in the dorms all 4 years. And so I don't know, I love the dorms, even though some people don't like them. I think it's one of the coolest things to just hang out with your friends, and you can be up at 3 a.m. and somebody is hanging out. And Roy really has taught me how to love the residents and how to just how to serve people, and that's a thing I've learned from Roy. And so he's one of the people that I look up to.
I don't think I could pick one, and so I don't think I will, but I will just say as a whole, the music faculty here, it's just made up of really good people. And being a music major is like crazy, and being involved in everything is hard, and having more than one musician in a building that can cooperate with each other is rare, almost impossible. And the fact that they've allowed me to be in everything and made it to the point where they're not scheduling over each other and making me have to decide and things like that has just been a huge blessing for me. But aside from that, all of them have encouraged me on a personal level. And the Babcocks have welcomed me into their home multiple times and been, taken the place of a professional counselor on many occasions when I was too emotional to do anything. And Dr. Doyle and Dr. Camp both have put time, countless hours into my life and my education. And just the music faculty as a whole is really, it's a blessing on this campus, and they really bless this whole community, probably more than people realize, I think.
That's awesome. Okay, tell us, what is it that makes LCU such a special place? That's a tough question, but as you ponder it, as you think about it in your hearts, what stands out about LCU? What is it that makes it such a special place?
For me, it was kind of like Hogwarts.
It's so true.
No,
it's an academic place. That's good.
It's an academic place, but it's a community. And not to get super nerdy, but Harry leaves home and he wants to stay there. He doesn't want to go home over breaks. I never went home over breaks. I hated it. I wanted to be here. Even during the summers, I wanted to be here because this is where my family was. This is where the people who cared most about me were. And the camaraderie, the community, the friends, the challenges, the busyness, the love, it really is a special community.
Awesome.
I know this is said every year, and Gary kind of hit on that, but I would say the family here at LCU, the relationships that are formed here are what have made the greatest impact on me. I've received an excellent education here, but I think the thing that's impacted me the most and the thing that I will miss the most when I leave will be the people here and the love that I feel when I'm on campus.
I think it's the open door policy we have on campus, and that it's not just for faculty, but it's kind of in the dorms and with staff members and everything. You can approach anybody. If you need to talk to somebody, you don't have to go through countless scores of secretaries to pretty please get on somebody's calendar. You just, maybe you call them and say, hey, are you available? And most of the time they're like, yeah, let's go to the coffee cup and sit down and talk. What do you need to talk about? And that's what makes the relationships work, is that it's very much on like a horizontal plane of we will meet you where you are and then let us, help you get better with everyone who, I respect with staff or faculty or whoever, but it has that open feel where you don't have to feel freaked out to start a relationship. You're like, welcome to the first day of campus and to, this is who we are, come into our family because we're already this way.
God is what makes a difference. You can walk on, I was on, not to bash Tech, right, or any other school, but I was on Tech's campus the other day and I was walking around and nobody noticed each other. My friends hate coming to campus with me. I have a friend who's very quiet and she griped at me one day because she could get across campus in 30 seconds and it took me 30 minutes. But I believe that's because we all have a bond, and because God is on our campus, it sets a different tone. It's just a different feeling, and that's what I think makes such a big difference for me between LCU and any other school, is the presence of God and the presence that we all share together. Even if I don't hang out with all of y'all, but even if we did, we would still have something in common. And I think that that's what's so neat, is we have a common thread here, every single person. And that's shared with the professors. Like, that's what's the difference between our professors and other professors. Like you were saying, the open door policy comes from caring about something other than their paycheck. They care about us. And so the difference to me has just been the underlying message of God throughout everything.
Going back to the fact that I transferred, one of the reasons I transferred was because I was in an environment before that just wasn't encouraging, not just spiritually. I mean, that was obviously not an aspect of the education there, but in any way encouraging. It was 100% competitive, and the teachers were not involved. And I remember my birthday was like maybe a week after I transferred and after school started. And I remember walking on campus the morning of my birthday, expecting it to be like any other day where nobody knows me, so why would anyone know it's my birthday? And Gary, I got out of my car. Yeah, you probably don't remember this, but I had met him on choir retreat, and I got out of my car on my birthday right before chapel, and Gary was sitting over there way across campus, and he was like, "Happy birthday, Devin!" And I was like, "No, I am, and they like me." I seriously, that was the first day I think that I was like, whoa, everybody here cares. It's not just the faculty is amazing, but even the student body, I have had so many friends, so many close friends who I will always have, and people that are going to be in my wedding, and people that, I never want to not be in contact with, because they edify me just in hanging out. Having friends that build you up and encourage you rather than want to beat you at this, competition or be the best in choir or, whatever it is. You have friends that just like you for you and want to encourage you to be more godly and be more spiritual and walk in your faith and walk with you. And it's just, it's so awesome. I love it.
Sí, la hermosura de esta universidad.
I'm following you. Keep going.
All right. I think the beauty of this university is.
That was really good.
I was hoping.
Well done.
Flawless. I'm so big.
Pride.
Hey, don't look at him so he can act.
Yeah, the beauty of this university is the community and the family. And I know that after I leave this place, I am going to have some friends. They're going to be in my life forever, and some friends that are going to be in my wedding. And hopefully some friends who my kids will play with their kids, And so community and family is what LCU is about. And since the first day I stepped on campus, I had that feeling, and I felt loved. So
Yeah.
That's what LCU is.
How do you think LCU has prepared you for the future?
Really well. I feel really academically prepared. I've met a lot of the classmates where I'm going to Texas Tech Law School in August, and I've met a lot of my incoming classmates, and I know without a doubt that I've been just as much, if not more, prepared academically for what we're about to go into, which is very scary, but I have no doubt that I've been taught what I need to be taught, and that our education, is top-notch and in no way, subpar to somebody else just because we're a private university. In fact, I think it's probably better because we have such one-on-one instruction. And then I think spiritually, I know because I'm going back into a secular school now, I know that I've been prepared to really learn how to stand up for myself in my faith and stand up for Christ. And I've been given the ability to be an ambassador for LCU in several different ways over the last few years. And I'm excited. Maybe I won't be an ambassador for LCU at Tech, but I still get to be an ambassador for Christ, and that's what LCU's taught me. And I know that I can go and feel confident that I can stand up for Christ at Tech, just like I could here, and that I still have that support system to fall back on if I need it.
Good.
This may be a kind of a lame answer, but I think right now, probably because I'm getting married, that's what's on my mind a lot, and that's coming before any other schooling or anything like that for me. So that's just what's on my mind. And but I mean, the fact that there are classes designated to help you with your marriage, the fact that they're even in classes that have nothing to do with marriage or relationships, you're learning God-centered values that will. I mean, I know without a doubt that my marriage is starting on the right foot and with the right center, because LCU is encouraging me to always put God first and to always be God-centered. And I mean, that's just a really big thing for me, because I have always wanted to be a wife and a mom. Like, that's my thing. And so the fact that I've been in an environment for 3 years that has encouraged me to be better at that, and I've seen good wives and good mothers as examples throughout my time here to look up to, and people I can ask if I need help, and people who can, encourage me, and that will always be there for me. That's just that's a huge deal for me, and that I feel like right now is what LCU has prepared me for the most, because that's what I'm closest to, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback on that, everything that is taught here is cross-centered. The academics are good because they are cross-centered, because they point your vocation towards the cross, that no matter what you're doing, you need to be walking the way of Christ. And so I feel most equipped. Yes, I found my fiance here. Yes, I've gotten a direction for my vocation, but all of it has been centered on the cross. And that's not just my Bible classes. That's been my classes with Dr. Hawley, my classes with Dr. Fair. The classes with any of these professors have taught me that the way of life needs to be the way of the cross. And that's why they are so excellent in their academic training, because they say you have to be good. You don't want to be a slacking Christian who's doing this as a side thing. Your work is part of your way towards the cross, and LCU teaches that thoroughly.
Very good.
Yeah, I remember Jeff Carey. I was in one of his classes, and he was talking about how Christians are supposed to be, or it's more our responsibility to try to be really great at what we do because we are Christians. And I think that, especially in the education department, the education field is one of the reasons that I came to LCU, because they put out phenomenal teachers who care about students, who care about doing things in a very unique way, who work hard to not just lecture the class and test them and get them out. It's how can we best help these students to learn and to grow. I was at my student teaching placement at Hardwick Elementary, and I was with my teacher there, and she was talking to me about some of the student teachers that she had, and she just said that she loves having LCU teachers because they're just a different caliber. And hearing that just made me feel so good, and hearing from our professors that schools want to hire LCU people, just the honor that comes with that name on my resume. I'm proud to give up my resume because it says I'm an LCU educator. And I know that holds a weight that not other schools get. And it is because we are good at what we do because we honor Christ through what we do. And so.
All right, well, when I was choosing schools right after high school, I didn't make my decision to go to college or to pick a college till April or May. And so LCU was kind of on the back burner, and all the other schools that I wanted to go to were small schools. But I think coming to LCU was the right choice, and getting a Christian education has made me a well-rounded person all around. I'm just not getting an education like I would have in just any other university, but I'm getting a Christian education that's going to last. And it doesn't matter what profession I go into. I know that if I keep Christ in the center, like I've been taught here, things will go well. So
I feel well equipped to leave LCU, and a lot of that is along the lines of what Gary and Devin said, and Tabitha. The professors do put the primary focus on being a disciple of Christ and making that your primary focus in learning the things that they're trying to teach you. And so going to LCU, I don't at all feel like I received a second-rate education, but I think the most valuable portion of my education were the life lessons that I learned and the spiritual growth that took place as a result of being in a place like LCU.
It's neat.
Oh, go Shaps.
That's
Blue,
right.
Blue.
You know, I
Be
think
forever blue.
forever.
Yeah,
Good
blue.
call. Good call. I think what's interesting is you all have talked about what made LCU a special place, and it's true. The faculty and staff here are part of what makes LCU a special place. You are what makes LCU special too. To have students that think the way you do, that are driven the way that you are, that care about the things you care about. That's what makes this a neat place to work. When you want to know why faculty and staff work at LCU, it's the people around this table. We have the opportunity to work with students like you guys, and so in a second we're going to say a prayer, and then you guys are going to be dismissed and go back to your busy lives. But I want you to know I'm thankful.
Please go.
I know.
This is a welcome respect.
But I want you to know that I'm thankful for you giving to this place, because I truly believe you've given to this place just as much as you've received from this place. Okay? So let's close with a prayer, and then you guys will be dismissed. Father God, I give you thanks for this day. Father, I thank you for this time just to gather around a table with 6 amazing students. And Father, it's clear that you've blessed LCU by bringing them here and allowing them to be a part of the LCU family. Father, it's been rewarding, God, to hear how you have worked in their lives through relationships with faculty and staff, with relationships with peers, for some who have found their significant other. God, I just give you praise for all of that. And Father, I think, how blessed we really are to be at a place like Lubbock Christian University, a place that seeks to know you on such a deep level. As was mentioned, God, a place that is driven by excellence, but not just for the fact of saying that we're good, but Father, to be good because you call us to be good. God, I give you praise and honor for that. And Father, I'm thankful for Izzy and Kristen and Alan and Devin and Gary and Tabitha. And God, I'm thankful that they are a part of this family. And Father, I know that as they graduate, that doesn't mean they leave this family. It just means that we have another opportunity to see each other again at a later date, and that hopefully our family continues to grow by the people they encourage to go to LCU and to know about LCU. God, we give you thanks for the way you love us. And God, again, I give you thanks for today. I think you look down at this table, and I think you look and see these students, and you're proud, and you say it is good. And God, we give you thanks for the way that you've loved us and the way that you've richly blessed us. It's in Jesus' holy and precious name. Amen.
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 Good job, guys.
We're gonna graduate.
You're done. Really, you don't even have to go to class anymore. You're done.
Can we quote that
No, I did not say that.
Can that be a stipulation of being nominated?